You don't need 100 different curls to grow big biceps, just the right ones done the right way. Most guys hit their biceps hard, but never smart, and that's why they barely see results. They focus on lifting heavy, doing endless sets, switching angles. But still, their arms look the same week after week. Meanwhile, there are a few key exercises that fly under the radar. Exercises that actually work with your body's biomechanics instead of against it. And they can literally change how your arms look in a matter of weeks. I'm talking visible fullness, tighter peaks, and that 3D look that makes your arms pop even when relaxed. And the craziest part? Most lifters completely overlook them. Or worse, they're doing them wrong without even knowing. Today, I'll show you 3 underrated biceps exercises that made my arms grow fast, with execution tips that actually make them work. Let's go! But before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of this real training talk. It helps the channel and keeps quality info coming your way. 1. Incline dumbbell curl. This one exercise changed the game for my biceps. Most people curl with their arms beside their torso, but when you sit back on a 45 degrees incline and let your arms hang behind your body, everything shifts. In that position, your long head is stretched before the rep even starts. And that stretch is where the real growth happens. Muscles grow more when they're challenged under tension in the lengthened position. It's like pulling back a slingshot. The more tension you build in the stretch, the more forceful the response. That's why this curl is so effective. You're loading the muscle where it's weakest, but also where it has the most to gain. The key is control. No swinging, no rushing, no ego lifting. You curl up in 2 seconds, squeeze hard at the top, then lower slowly for 3 seconds. That eccentric phase? It's where most of the micro tears happen. And that's exactly what signals your body to grow. Something else happens too. Because your arms move independently, you naturally fix imbalances. The stronger side can't dominate, and the weaker side doesn't get a free ride. That forces your brain to connect directly with each bicep, and that connection changes how you train forever. You'll notice your arms pump like crazy, even with lighter weights. That's not by accident. It's the result of pure tension, stretch, and precision, all working together in one underrated move. And trust me, this is just the beginning. 2. Low cable curl with straight bar. This might be one of the most slept-on biceps exercises in the gym, and yet it delivers something dumbbells just can't. Constant tension from start to finish. With the cable positioned low and a straight bar attached, every inch of the curl keeps your biceps loaded. There's no rest spot in the movement, which means your muscles never get a break. What makes this even better is how it targets the short head of the biceps, that thick, round part that gives your arms that full, dense look from the front. Most curls don't emphasize it enough, but here, the angle and the resistance line hit it head-on. You'll feel it within the first few reps, especially if you stay strict with your form. Execution is everything. Keep your elbows glued to your sides. No swinging, no shifting. Curl the bar up slowly, and halfway through the rep, pause for just a second. That midpoint pause lights up your muscle fibers and forces a stronger contraction. From there, continue to the top, squeeze, and lower under control. The eccentric part, when the bar comes down, should be just as intentional as the lift. You can make small tweaks depending on your wrist comfort. Some lifters prefer an EZ bar to reduce joint stress, and narrowing your grip just a bit? That increases peak contraction even more. But none of that matters if your focus isn't locked in. Visualize your biceps pulling the bar. Every inch matters. This one move alone can fill out your sleeves fast. But what comes next takes the illusion of bigger arms to another level. 3. Rope hammer curl on cable. If you want your arms to look bigger, not just when flexed, but even relaxed, this is the move most guys are missing. The rope hammer curl on the cable machine isn't just a variation for the sake of variety. It directly targets the brachialis, the muscle underneath the biceps that literally pushes it outward, adding visible thickness to your arms from every angle. Most lifters chase peak, but ignore depth. This exercise builds that depth. And because it's done with cables, you get the benefit of constant resistance. No momentum, no dead spots. Just smooth tension from the very bottom to the top of the lift. Form is key here. Grab the rope with a neutral grip, palms facing each other. Keep your elbows tight to your sides and pull the rope up toward your upper chest. But here's the trick that changes everything. At the top of the rep, don't just stop. Slightly pull the rope ends apart like you're trying to spread them. That tiny movement lights up the brachialis and the brachioradialis like nothing else. It hits hard, which is why this is the perfect finisher. 3 to 4 sets, 10 to 15 reps, short rest, and a laser-sharp mind-muscle connection. You want your arms burning by the end. If they're not, you're just going through the motions. And whatever you do, don't cheat. No swinging, no leaning, no hip drive. Cheating kills the stimulus and shifts the work to your shoulders or even your traps. Lighten the load if you need to. Trust the burn. That's where the growth lives. Now that your training is on point, there's one more piece you can't afford to miss. And it doesn't happen in the gym. The mistake that kills biceps gains: using momentum. Here's the brutal truth. Most people train biceps wrong. Not because they pick bad exercises, but because they turn every curl into a full-body swing. The second you start throwing your hips, shrugging your shoulders, or leaning back to move the weight, you've already lost the stimulus. The moment your form breaks, the tension shifts away from the biceps and into your shoulders, hips, even your lower back. You think you're lifting heavier, but all you're really doing is reducing time under tension. The one thing your biceps actually need to grow. It's not about how much you lift, it's about how you lift it. Drop the weight by 20 to 30% if you have to. Slow the rep down. Own every inch of the movement. Focus on strict tempo. 2 seconds up, 1 second squeeze, 3 seconds down. That's where growth happens. And if you're honest with yourself, you'll realize this is where the ego gets in the way. Everyone wants to look strong. But curling heavy with sloppy form doesn't make you strong. It makes you inefficient. And it's one of the fastest ways to stall progress or even get injured. Want your biceps to actually grow? Keep the movement clean, tight, and controlled. No bounce, no cheat, no shortcuts. Your body knows the difference. And so will your results. But even if your form is perfect, there's something else that determines how much you grow. And it happens when you're not even training. You grow outside the gym, recovery. The gym is where you stimulate growth, but it's outside the gym where that growth actually happens. And if you're crushing every set, nailing your execution, and still not seeing results, chances are your recovery is holding you back. Let's start with sleep. You need 7 to 9 hours a night. No excuses. That's when your body repairs muscle tissue, balances hormones, and triggers the growth response you worked for. Miss that window consistently, and you're basically training just to stay the same. Next is protein. You've heard it before, but it matters more than you think. Aim for 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilo of body weight every single day. And right after your session, get that shake in within 45 minutes. Add a fast carb, and you spike insulin just enough to shuttle nutrients straight to your muscles. Hydration? Huge. You need 35 to 45 milliliters of water per kilo of body weight daily. Dehydration kills performance and slows down recovery like nothing else. And stress? That silent killer boosts cortisol, which eats into muscle growth. So do your nervous system a favor. Breathe, stretch, walk, unplug. Think of recovery as part of the workout, not an afterthought. When you leave the gym, your job isn't done, it just changes. Your real results depend on how well you treat your body when the weights are on the rack. And if you're consistent with everything, training, execution, recovery, the results will show up faster than you think. Here's the truth no one wants to hear. Most people don't fail because of lack of effort. They fail because of poor execution. They chase variety instead of mastery. They go heavier instead of smarter. And they ignore the little details that actually make muscles grow. But now you've got the blueprint. 3 underrated exercises that hit your biceps from angles most people overlook. A simple fix to stop cheating and start building real tension. And the recovery habits that turn your training into actual gains. You don't need 10 different curl variations. You need the right 3, done with perfect form, real intent, and full control. Stack that with focused recovery, and your arms won't just look different. They'll feel like they belong to someone who actually trains with purpose. Now the only question is, are you gonna apply this or just keep scrolling? If this video helped you, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell. It takes 2 seconds and helps us keep delivering high-quality content for you.